And hello, all my fellow nerds out there. This is Oracle Nerd here, and welcome back once again to Starfallen Strength. So last time, I'll be real with you, I don't remember what happened last time, but we're here to continue the story right from where we left off. Oh yeah, Lennon is being made the Grand Commander, and we also met another character, Dion, who apparently is Lennon's sparring partner. That's all I know about that. Anyways. Did you hear Verona's making me Grand Commander? Petra Petra's head falls in a laugh, and already know the answer. Who doesn't? You're not you're not upset with me, are you? Me? No, if anything, I'm deeply relieved. Why's that? Could you imagine me as the Grand Commander? Yes? That makes one of us. What, you don't think you could do it? Being able to do something and wanting to do something is two entirely different things. I think first and foremost, anyone who's Grand Commander should desire the position and all the work that comes with it. I'm not especially excited about that last part. Then you best get out while you can. I whip around to face her, horrified by the idea. I could never quit. Are you kidding? She doesn't even turn to face me, still facing straight ahead, eyes barely awake. No, it is going to be a lot of work. Then she looks at me. But I still believe Verona chose right. You do? Her gentle expression crumbles, then. Now she looks like I asked something stupid. Well, now you have me questioning. No. Her shoulders shake a little with silent laughter. Lennon, of course you are. No doubt about it. Verona will teach you everything you need to know. Everyone else will be here too. Not much will change. Whether she realizes it or not, those words have not done more than settle me than any votes confidence have. Petra wouldn't spare my feelings. No one knew me longer. The unmistakable creak of two enormous wooden doors open, flooding the hall with light as Mercer arrives with two others in tow, a man and a woman. Oh, okay. Wait, is this like our whole team or something? They look really cool. They have one thing in common. They're both incredibly unique. I recognize the woman immediately. Pearlesque appearance trimmed with gold and violet. Colette. More astutely, Lady Colette Fontaine, fourth daughter of House Fontaine, located in Sintry, New Hampton. That is a long ass title. I think Colette is just better to. It's just a better way of shortening that. She come visit us two other times before this, only for a couple of months or so each time, usually during the summer until now. I thought she'd skip this year. I wasn't pleasantly surprised she hadn't. I looked at Petra in case she might know. Sensing what I'm about to say, she crossed her arms across her chest, shrugging. Her eyes returned to Mercer in the party, widening in interest. I traced where her gaze is pointed, seeing the other arrival. He has a pair of furry ears. In a Terran? I was adopted and grew up with Anatara for a time, but unfortunately small amount of time. I was only 5 or 7 years old then, living in a little settlement known as Green Rock with my fathers. Papa is a skilled Illyrian wizard. Did the impossible task of training Anatarans magic. It it was believed they could learn it. It is incredibly difficult, but it is possible. Father, on the other hand, served as a member of the community, usually hunting. I found out many years later how uncommon it was for humans to live in Anataran settlements. I counted myself exceptionally lucky to live among them, even if only for a short time. I hadn't spoken to Anataran since then. I had to stop myself from bouncing on my heels as he approached, which feeling much like I had when our parents agreed to let Petra stay the night. Did you miss me that much, kiddo? I shake my head without thinking. Should I just turn around and leave then? I thought you'd at least be excited about the gifts I brought you. I suppose I'll have to give them both to Petra now. She, he hands over two paper packages to Petra, who takes them, straightening out her posture. My heart dives into my feet. I'm sorry. I'm sure you are now. I launch at Petra as she holds the packages just out of reach. Despite being a good deal taller than her, I still can barely manage. I'll let it go this one time. He concedes, chuckling. You can't open those until later anyhow. I've got some important things to discuss first. His tone makes me forget about his gifts altogether. I got word that you two had a bit of an incident yourselves this morning. It's been dealt with. Now it's just a matter of what to do with him. Mercer looks at me for my input. We need to find a way to return what he's stolen. Then we can go through the proper channels, take him to the nearest town guard, and let them deal with him. I don't think we're equipped to hold prisoners long term. I agree. Sounds like a plan. He pivots to his guests. Lennon, Petra, you remember Lady Fontaine? Petra makes a move before I can. I'm grateful for it as I prepare myself to greet her properly. Petra takes her hand, touching it to the space between her eyes, kneeling. I'd be smart to do the same. Instead, I take her hand and place a gentle kiss on it, trying to make up for clutching her hand like a bunny in a trap. I look up, trying to play off the last-minute error as purely intentional. I nearly believe in myself when the lady fights an even larger smile from growing on her face. To see you again. She clears her throat in the most elegant way I've ever seen such a thing done. Both of you, that is. We bow to her, and the synchronicity satisfying. I have all but forgotten about my flubs from before. She'll be helping us once again with her nature expertise. And this is Farron. He'll be the newest Skyward Initiate. Farron blanches a little, his ears twitching and rotating. He extends his hand out, closing his eyes, his white face taken over by crimson in mere moments. Oh, don't worry, my boy. A bow or a wave will suffice. A bow or a wave will suffice. We understand you don't greet the way we do here back home. He peeks with one eye open, checking it because it's clear, opening the other and waving both of his hands and bushy tail. Happy to have you as part of our pack. He cocks an eyebrow at me, then looks to Mercer. Lennon here lived in Anaterra, a little town called Green Rock in her youth. Humans lived in Anaterra? Very few. Her father, Cassius Alexei, taught Anaterrans magic many years ago. His eyes widen, excitement in his body now. Well met. Did you live in Anaterra as well? Petra looks at her shoes. Unfortunately, no. I heard it's as lovely as it's dangerous. Farron nods, unable to hide his disappointment about what specifically I'm not all too sure about. Surely being so far from home must be tough, even for us humans, but Anaterrans rarely, if ever, left their stomping grounds. Hopefully he'd be able to adjust. Farron, this is Lennon. She'll be Skyward's leader, and her cousin, Petra. She, like Lennon, is a highly skilled knight of her Skyward. He meant well, but I couldn't help but feel as if he'd tacked that last part on. Does he worry that I feel inferior to Lennon? If anything, I pity her. This is no small task she'll have to undertake. Verona had chosen a new Grand Commander correctly. It's good to meet you both. I was hoping you both would show the grounds. I began to think of how we go about such a task when Colette speaks. Lennon, would you be willing to remind me? I get lost so easily. She settles up beside her, holding her arm. It's almost as if she sees to lead Lennon. My cousin scratches the back of her neck, as she always does when she looks nervous. Seems that leaves Farron and I, not especially good with newcomers, especially when not Anaterrans. Their customs are almost entirely alien to us humans, and far more alien to me. I almost wish he'd been paired with Lennon, though admittedly I'm no good with Colette either. Despite being quite chatty, I feel like I'm out of step in all this for all our conversations. We were never all that close in previous visits. I still have a duty to fulfill, and I won't regret my discomfort. My discomfort keep me from seeing it through. I approach him casually, keeping some distance between us, careful not to startle him. At least I'm not alone in feeling this way. This has to be far more difficult for him, too. I'll show you around if you wouldn't mind. I would. He takes a step forward towards me despite his words. You would mind? Oh no, that phrasing always confuses me. I mean, I would like to go with you if you wouldn't mind. A smile grows on my lips before I can stop it. I wouldn't mind at all. I've never been fond of giving tours. I would have cornered Lennon to do it in my stead, but if she wasn't busy with something beforehand. Something else, it could have been worse. Farron is curious but polite, asking questions here and there, and attentively listening to every one of my words. He even cracks jokes sometimes to light up the semi-professional atmosphere. I was apprehensive at first, since I do not know much about Anaterans as Lennon, who has lived with them since childhood. It's been going well, dare I say enjoyable even. We arrived at the cliff of the mountain upon which Skyward is seated. The view is quite nice here. We can see the whole skyline from up here. I take a few steps forward to show him where I meant. Wait. Abruptly, he takes me by the arm and pulls me back towards him. My back collides with his chest. He wraps his other arm around my waist, securing me to him. We both watch as some rocks fall off the pit, fall into the pit of the cliff. He quickly lets go of me after asserting that I'm safe. It doesn't help slow down my pulse, nor the flutter in my chest from going away. Sorry if I startled you. The rocks are kind of loose here. It would be bad if we go further. No, I am sorry that I didn't notice. Hey, it's not your fault. I am just used to checking terrains. It's difficult to spot if you aren't trained to. Then, thank you. Giving him a trace of a smile, nonetheless flustered by what just happened. By the danger of, or by his actions is up for debate. Probably both. Anytime. He reciprocates with a soft smile of his own. We continue the tour of the grounds without any trouble this time until we reach a library. Farron already sprints inside. I take it you like to read? Ah, well, kind of. He begins to stammer. I give him an inquisitive look. I'm not a good reader since at home, you know, we don't really have books. I have been enjoying, ink novels for now mostly. I didn't expect the mention of ink novels. They aren't rare, rather they are enjoyed by a lot of folks. Epic adventures told with ink illustrations instead of exclusively written text. Nothing unusual. That's basically the equivalent of saying I read comic books or manga. Which honestly, I don't judge. I read comics and manga too. In fact, I actually have a couple of manga on the shelf next to me. What is unusual is to meet an Anatarian that knows how to read. I wonder where he got those ink novels to begin with. We have a big section of those this way. I got him just a few feet away. Farron's eyes trace the entirety of the massive bookshelf. Wow. His fox ears perk up and his tail starts to wag rapidly in high angle. Wait, he's a fox? Oh, he's an Arctic fox. I thought he was a wolf for some reason. He looked more like a wolf than a fox. Huh. That's interesting at least. I've never seen someone so ecstatic at the sight of a mere book. His hands dart out to retrieve one from the shelf. Oh, Justice Hale? I feel like this book is the one thing that's connecting all their games together because, well, aside from the fact that they all take place in Illyria. Without meaning to, the disdain is clear in my voice. He chuckles in return. You don't like him? I rush to correct myself. I don't need a new recruit to have a negative opinion of Skyward on the first day. I misspoke. My uncle is actually the author of the novels. You must understand that I heard about Justice Hill enough to last 3 lifetimes. His shoulders drop in relief, and then his ears and tail do the same thing as before. Your uncle is the Etienne Snow? You gotta tell me if he ever visits. No way, I can't believe I might meet him. I nod affirmatively. Knowing how protective my uncle is of Lennon, I he is due for another visit shortly. What do you think about the ink novels then? You're a Justice Hill expert here. He teases. The ink novels were faulty or also neat. I mean, I wouldn't want to having a negative opinion, so are also neat. Some things are left out of the novels, which is normal. They're serviceable adaptations still. I read those too. The images are also quite pretty. I do not repeat what I said to my uncle, though. I consider them sacrilegious. I think he's being nitpicky. I like them. Or he considers them sacrilegious. My bad. He beams at me. Justice is really cool. His adventures are really inspiring. I want to try the novels when I'm more comfortable reading. And don't worry, your secret is safe with me. He says back playfully. You will already be familiar with the story and the characters. The rating is beginner friendly as well. Awesome. Trust me, I'm gonna be a #1 Justice Hales fan in no time. He snickers. I can't help but smile lightly. You will have me as your opponent. I attempt to joke, but I fear my tone might be too flat. Challenge accepted. He does a cheery air punch while saying so. Do you have magic books here? I try not to let my surprise show. Did Linda really grow up with Anaterans? Because I distinctly remember her telling me they don't practice magic. Of course. Anything you're looking for? Something about ice magic. I'm new to it, actually. I see. I try to recall where I might find something ice magic related. It's been years since I sought those out. Follow me. My vague memory brings me across the library towards a large section filled to end with books of considerable size. Let's see. Ice. Farron trails after me like a little puppy, looking both lost and in awe. Here. I pass him the book, and he inspects through it, mixture of intrigue and confusion. I was using this when I first started ice magic. Sir Mercer did tell me you put most mages to shame. He says mages like mages, but as before, I didn't correct him. It's also likely that Mercer called them that. I fear he may have overstated. My mother was an ice user, so it was one of the easier schools of magic for me to learn. It's like one of those it's like that sort of trope, like, oh, you use ice magic? You must have family related trauma, don't you? Although not every ice user has that, quite a lot of them do for some reason. It's like a pattern that I've noticed. At that, stars seem to appear in his eyes. Oh, you've been trained since you were little? That's terrific. I hope I get to see you in action. And thank you so much for the recommendation. It saves me a lot of time. I can feel my face getting slightly warm. Don't mention it. Huh? Apologies. It means you're welcome. Oh, understood. He punctuates it with a half salute. If you don't mind me asking, what made you interested in studying magic? After Sir Mercer took me in, and Madame Nadia discovered that I had an affinity with ice magic, she's one too. Took you in? Yeah, I lived briefly with them before joining the Sky Ward. A hum in acknowledgement. That must be why Mercer came back to the Sky Ward with him after his vacation. I thought he was mostly retired and doesn't recruit anymore, though. How did he find him? I wait for Farron to maybe continue his story. Instead, he's absorbed by the book in his hands. I decide not to push for details. There'll be more time, surely. I cough to gain his attention, and he looks back up again. I didn't sign up for this and have long overstayed my welcome. It's unlike me to stick around longer than necessary. That'll conclude the tour. I'm not much of a guide, so if you have any questions, I suggest you seek out Lennon or Verona instead. Welcome to Skyward. I hope we'll have a chance to speak like this again. Me too. I assume it's genuine because his tail wags vigorously again. Albeit it abruptly stops. Before you go, do you want to see something cool? I don't know if I trust the mischievous look on his face right now. Pivoting my body cautiously in his direction. Sure. He chuckles at my suspicion. I think I'm growing fond of the way he laughs. It's a little unbridled and unlike human laughter. I swear it's nothing bad, just a magic trick. A magic trick? Yes, trust me, you're gonna go whoa in a second. My shoulders drop as I wait for his trick of his. I'll take your word for it. That's the spirits? I think I saw something behind your ear though. Strange, I don't feel anything stuck there. Which one? Here. Before I go to check my hand, Baron reaches down and took some strands of my hair behind my right ear. Despite his claws, his touch is gentle, and especially delicate. My breath hitches for a second, my eyes grow wide, frantically looking everywhere but his face. Ooh. As it's coming out of my ear, he presents a coin, appearing proud of himself. The old coin behind the ear trick. Works every time. I might have lied, but I bet you can see better now with your hair out of the way and all. How did you... I stuttered in front of him like an idiot. My face is surely pink from embarrassment, and maybe how close he is to me right now. His lips twitch at the corner as if restraining himself from laughing. He is kind enough not to. Fast reflexes plus distraction, and ta-da! Told you it would be cool, right? Despite myself, I laugh a bit. His excitement is contagious. Alright, you win. It's cool, but I must go now. Take care. See ya. He waves cheerfully while I walk away. I really need to compose myself before anyone sees me like this. My lady? I inwardly celebrate having not fumbled my words. The softness of Lady Fontaine's hands leave me dizzy behind my eyes. I carefully let her off her steed, the sun filtering through her hair, leaving me with a memory I could have painted instantaneously in real time. Her horse, Reginald, is as white as the lady herself. Not sickeningly so, but pretty white, pearlesque. She looks as if she came down from the very clouds themselves. I wouldn't be surprised to find out such a thing were true. As lovely as she is, I turn my attention away, careful not to stare. Verona made it clear to me that Lady Fontaine was notable for her albinism. As lovely as she is, I turn my attention away, careful not to stare. Verona made it... Oh wait, I thought I already said... I pressed space, what the heck? There we go, it was just lagging a little bit. It had everyone back in their hometown of Sintry speaking, making her feel more like a spectacle than a person. Thank you kindly. Reginald thanks you as well. She drops before me, standing a foot or so below me. Tell him it's my pleasure. She touches Reginald's neck to get his attention. Lennon was happy to take you out riding, Reggie. Reggie whinnies in response. No matter how many times she does it, I can't believe my eyes. What a wonderful marked ability she has to speak to animals. It makes me wish more than anything I had power of my own. Though, Lennon, I regret to inform you that Reggie also said you're quite heavy. I am so sorry. Tell him I didn't mean to hurt him. Colette becomes a fit of giggles before she laughs, wiping a forming tear from her eye. You're so gullible. He didn't say that. Horses can carry far more than us. Don't you worry your pretty head. I breathe a sigh of relief. I just noticed your muscles have grown considerably. Her hands find my bicep. She cringes a little in what looks like pain when she does so. Is there something wrong, my lady? I look down at her, watching as she sizes me up. I nearly shrink from below, her gaze, her amethyst eyes tangling all my senses. She tilts her head, pulling her hand away, doing everything short of bringing her hand to her chin. Have you forgotten my name? I shake my head immediately. She gives me a quirk of her eyebrow, testing me. Is she joking again? It's Lady Colette. She hops at a laugh and immediately unsure. Did I misremember? Lennon, you can just call me Colette. How many more times must I visit until I am no longer seen as a guest? This is her third stay as Skyward. It was required by her house for Colette to see the world, to contribute in some fashion before she takes her position as Duchess Fontaine. I don't know how much was required of royalty in New Hampton or anywhere, honestly. Oh, how I wish there were more knights like you back home. Knights like me? Women? No. Well, yes, actually, I'd really like that. But what I meant was knights are fun. Back in my mother's estate, all our guards are so stuffy? It's their job, of course, and a difficult one at that, don't get me wrong. But even off duty, there aren't much conversation with me. Perhaps I'm the problem. Her face sinks. No, I don't think it's you. Well, maybe it is. They're just intimidated by you. Intimidated, you say? How come? Am I unpleasant? Do I have a bad attitude, or don't tell me it's my jokes? I shake my head, my ponytail swaying against my back. No, you're just lovely. You're they're intimidated by your beauty, your natural charm. Her hands fly to her mouth, and all I could see was her big eyes widen in surprise. Lennon, you're so bold. Uh, I am? Did I say something inappropriate? You truly think that? You aren't humoring me? Well, yes. Is that rude? As my knight, perhaps, but as my friend, I consider us friends. Then you flatter me too much. Her face is gloriously pink, and I'm sure mine matches. I'd hire you if I could. Would you like that? It's a kind offer. I know I couldn't tear you away from your beloved cousin. And Verona and Dion. Colette's face scrunches up like she ate something sour. It's Leon. I haven't spent a lot of time with him. Is he betrothed or married? His name's Dion. But no, he isn't. I don't think he's ever been with anyone, now that I think of it. Saving himself for you, is he? You think so? We're just friends. Oh. Oh, this is a major decision. Okay. Wait, this kind of makes it like a choice of who do you want to see more? Like, do you want to see Lennon and Dion or Lennon and Colette? Like, personally, I choose Lennon and Colette, but Lennon and Dion have a lot more chemistry. I don't really know. We're just friends. She teases. She's not the first. We've both been teased about saving ourselves for each other. We're friends. It comes out more cold and distant than I like. We are friends. It's why it annoys me that everyone wants to see us as more. See it as more. That's unfair of me. It's not as if men and women can't be friends. Well, never mind what I think. I'm sounding smaller and smaller minded by the moment. That's a relief. I don't think you're small minded. It's natural to be curious. We've known each other since I was 9 and he was 7. Let me ask you something. Oh? What do you want to know? How long do you plan to stay this time? I know it's tradition to explore the world before you take a position of power. An interesting way to phrase it, but yes, they treat our excursions as sort of a pilgrimage. See the world properly before we rule. She leans closer to me for a moment, a hand near her face as a way of signifying she's telling a secret. Oh, between you and me, I don't plan on going back. You don't? In rare cases, we could pursue other ways of life. I think I might try my hand at being a steady member of Skyward. I'm quite the huntress, you know. Once I set my eyes on something, it's only a matter of time before I take it down. Oh, I just realized she's holding a bow in her hand. I didn't even notice the bow, to be honest. Something about the way she says it makes my throat go dry. Must be the autumn air getting to me. Is it known for speeding up our heart rate as well? Mercer told me you had an interesting story of your recent travels in New Hampton. Something about a monster? Recognition flashes across her eyes. She coughs into one hand following laughter. Well, he should be more specific. There are many interesting things to be found in New Hampton. Terribly interesting indeed. What he was referring to was... She takes a moment to think about how she's going to phrase it, lowering her already soft voice. I was able to communicate with a monster. Is that it? Could you not already do that? She laughs again, this time shaking her head. It must have been an absurd question. Dearest Lennon, you are attempting sarcasm. If so, you best leave it to Petra. It suits her more. I'm serious. You are, aren't you? Sweet thing. According to Mercer, not even the Dread God themselves, not even the monster hunters can do such a thing. I was under the impression my power was much like an Anateran, was only limited to animals. But as far as we know, speaking with monsters is simply unheard of. Until now, that is. You're remarkable. I said it before I even had time to process it. Her hand lifts to touch the tips of her fingers to her nose. I'm shocked. In shock. Her knowledge had proven so helpful in the past. I could I could only imagine what other discoveries she'd help us make going forward. Then it hits me. That reminds me. I rushed the fish out of the satchel attached to Reggie. This feather I found, would you know which bird it belongs to? She squints at it, probably scrutinizing it for a long moment. It's much too large to be any species of bird I've ever seen. It's closer to a feather of a harpy. A harpy? A harpy could have been in Skyward? She turns her head away from my questioning. Her attention for the first time was pulled elsewhere. I think this is probably a better inquiry for Mercer. Ask Mercer then, I want your expertise. I don't know how much this would change the story, but I'll, I'll okay, I guess I'll ask Mercer then. I'll be sure to ask Mercer then. Thank you anyway, my lady. She gives me a playful, scornful look. Colette. Colette? Hopefully one day you'll view me as your friend rather than a colleague. I wasn't sure how I distinguished the two. I still needed to show proper respect. I couldn't get too comfortable. I'll work on it. You both, you both can open them. At my side, Lennon holds up hers like a trophy, then begins to shake. You won't be able to guess. She frowns, ripping it open with a little effort. I watch, trying to guess, though Mercer's right, I couldn't. You can open yours too, you know. I shake my head, continuing to watch. It was her turn. A dress? She holds it out, studying it for a moment, proceeds to squeal and hugs it to her chest. If Lennon could fight with a dress on, she would, and has tried. No, I can't take credit. I simply was the delivery boy. It was all my wife's expertise. I did what I could to help, but unfortunately, I don't have an eye for these things. He sounds genuinely disappointed. You can't be good at everything, old man. Mercer shrugs, unconvinced. Despite the mention, there really isn't much he can't do from my experience. I'm sure if he really tried, he'd be a tailor by next season if he so wished. Nadia got this from me? She spoke as if some celebrity had picked her dress for her. In all fairness, she might as well have been. Mercer's wife, Nadia, Lennon and I had only met once as girls, since we've only ever seen her in paintings. Mercer had a habit of commissioning portraits of her and keeping them in his office. Perhaps a few too many, though none of us could truly blame him. There was something so fascinating about her appearance. Even only seeing her once she was etched into my memory. Despite her being a Lamia, it wasn't safe for her to be with a human, nor be in human populated areas. Though maybe with Farron here, times would change, and we could meet her properly. That would have been a great gift. Thank her for me. She intended for you to wear it at your coronation. You knew? Dear girl, you should know I know everything that goes on around here. Oh yeah? Do you know that Callum and Iris have been sleeping with each other on the sly? No shit? Even though Jensen always picks her for sparring? How long has this been going on? Never mind, I'll ask about it later. Lennon turns her attention to me, her long hair swinging as she does so. What are you doing, Petra? Open yours. So I do what what I can to roll my shoulders and hope neither notices, I turn my attention to a gift in my lap. My box was smaller, though I'm sure no less. I doubt it was a dress. Admittedly, Lennon's was gorgeous, so maybe would have been it wouldn't have been so bad if it had. Had I worn a dress since I was a girl? My father was especially doting and had me wear as many dresses as he could afford. He got in his coin worth as I'd eventually outgrown them and shared them across all four of my younger sisters. So surely surely would from and surely would for my youngest, who couldn't even walk yet. I began to tear the packaging, and inside was a leather-bound journal, just what I needed. You should have been one of the guard with as many notes as you can take. But you always told us he's joking, Lennon. He'd have never allowed us. Being a dread guard was a path of certain destruction, unless you were a mercer, of course. Wait. Wait a minute, I'm just realizing now. Didn't we hear Mercer's name get spoken in that other visual novel that I read? Ducky? Wasn't he mentioned in Ducky? I could be wrong. Like yeah, they all take all these games basically take place in the same like continent or country or whatever Elyria is, but like honestly I think it's really cool no matter what. Childishly, I was stubborn to the idea, believing that I could be anything I wanted, but Mercer had been right. Horrors involved in that work, and the horrors involved from the work, not from not just the beasts you were tasked to fight, but the ones who handed you a quill and let you sign your life away. Being part of the guard was no star to shoot for. It was a void you fell into when all dreams were no longer in sight. How do you like it? I had been bound with more paper than you get in the shop, sturdier too, I hope. You made this? Of course. I learned to make my own a long time ago. Haven't done it in a while. Felt good. I dragged my fingers along the thick pages. Once I knew could handle more ink and watercolor than any of the others. Thank you. What will you do with it? Watercolor paintings, write poems. I feel like the write poems thing is a DDLC reference. I don't know. It just feels like that. But knowing Petra, I think she'd probably write notes for her travels. Notes for my travels. Well, well, sure. We all have logs for that. You sure you don't want to do something more? Well, something else with it? Well, I suppose I could also use it for. Oh, I guess. Well, I, I guess write poems. I'll write poems. His eyes widened in the way that would be comedic if I didn't immediately become self-conscious. You write poems? I know, I try not to feel shame, but the more I think of it, the more laughable it seems. I hope they don't think I'm joking, or worse, that I'm that sort of hopeless romantics. I wrote poems myself, believe it or not. Another thing I was never all good at, admittedly. They did make Nadia laugh, though. The laughter is always a way to a woman's heart. Lennon's pops told me that there was no wrong way to do it. Something about art was better free from the bounds of rules and competition. But that can't be right. I'm not going to buy a painting for someone who's simply passionate about it. And I'm sure there are shit poets too. Not you though, I'm sure. His vote of confidence was weak, but not out of lack of belief. I didn't know if I was any good of a poet either. And though his words made sense, I was inclined to think along the lines of my uncle Etienne. Wasn't the art supposed to express oneself? The, wasn't the art's purpose to express oneself? My bad. So, was there a wrong way to express yourself, free from the eyes of others? It's just for myself. I don't think something needs to be well done in that case. Right. I wouldn't risk you share, but if you'd ever like to, I'll listen and I won't laugh at you. I can promise that. True to yourself, choose to write poetry. Ooh, okay. I gave him a small smile, my heart put at ease. Lennon and Mercer thought of everything in terms of battle scars and trophies. For me, it wasn't about that. Oh, whoops. What greater victory than to feel your own heart beating and to pay witness to the world as we know it? Well, now the gifts are out of the way, have some bad news. Aren't you supposed to deliver bad news first? I agree with my cousin. The tone of her voice brings you no comfort. If she's worried, I'm sure to be just as. So, going to have a nice moment before we get to work. I've only spoken with Verona about this, so the conversation stays between us four. I mean it. Not even Dion. That's. This is not good. Stay stone still. This concerns you the most. We all know why. I'm listening. I can't take the suspense. The air is getting harder to breathe. Before your little encounter with the pyromancer, I felt some unease. I thought once you both handled the situation, it'd have gone away. But it hasn't. It's steadily grown and gotten worse. There are many reasons that could be the case. We got a prisoner with unknown motives just below our feet. I don't feel all too comfortable with his presence, but this isn't just the nerves we're talking about here. Mercer's gift, sensing danger, it was perfect for his line of work, and proved useful many a times in our own ventures. They came and went as fast as a case of the hiccups. It wasn't known to overstay its welcome. When I went to retrieve Farron and Colette, the feeling amplified. Just as we returned to Skyward, I haven't been able to shake it since. What could you mean? Do you have a guess? Of course, many, but none I can confirm. I suspect there may be a big storm in the way. My nose tells me I'm right. Could be enough to cause some injury. I've already made preparations for everyone to find shelter, moved the animals from their pens, but my foreboding remains. My last guess is, and this one is complete shot in the dark, I fear we may have a traitor amongst our ranks. No, that's sure? No, I'm not sure at all, but I certainly don't want to think so. Why do you think that? We've had someone manage to sneak into Skyward as easily as that Idris has. I can't reason as to why someone would want to allow him in, or why they haven't mentioned anything. Again, this is all a theory, but one I feel I must entertain. There's no shortage of political allies and power to be gained from Skyward. It's grown exponentially in just the last 3 years. I think we'd be fools to think that everyone here is someone we can trust blindly. But you trust us. Yes, I do. And if I'm wrong, then I'll let it be my downfall. But I know I can trust everyone I told this. I don't believe any of you is a traitor. But what of the storm? Couldn't that just be it? Unless it will shatter the skyward and collapse into the very depths, I doubt it. We've had fires, bandit raids, even tragedies take place, but never have I felt something so this potent. I don't want to scare you, but we need to prepare for anything. Otherwise, I'm sure you're going to meet a grim fate. So this traitor, if they if they do have if they do exist for the sake of a discussion, they do. And for the sake of discussion they do, how will we root them out? Our best bet is to bide our time. Stay close to each other. Pay careful attention to what everyone says, even if they're closest allies. I don't want to believe it either, and in a way I hope it's anything else. Even a cataclysmic storm. But the gut instinct of a guard is something you can almost always bet on. And something tells me I'm not wrong here. I could have brought Nadia. She wanted to, but this feeling. I couldn't risk her in all this. I'd sooner drive a sword into my leg and swim with sharks. All we can do for the time being is stay on your guard. You'll be fine. You especially, Lennon. You're a shining star here. One set to one set to take over the sky. News is already spreading about your preferment. But you can't let them take you, no matter what. I understand. I can't make sense of it. I can't fathom what this can mean, nor rationalize the fear that eats away at my insides, but I understand. I won't let anyone fall. Mercer goes to say something, a sound short and sharp. He presses his lips together and shakes it away. Find what brings you strength and hold on to it for dear life. Oh, so there might be a traitor in the ranks. Whom will you spend time with? Oh, wait, what? Oh, it's kind of like Fire Emblem. Okay, well the thing is, I don't actually play Fire Emblem, or but I do play Danganronpa. So we can spend time with people. Oh, it's so cool. All right, well then, I think I'm gonna leave this video here for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.